Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. The MAC isn't going to produce any elite contenders this year, but it is going to be a competitive conference that provides us with some fun midweek matchups. And today, guys, we are here with our official MAC college football predictions, the predicted record for every single team, our final set of predictions before the start of the regular season. So welcome back to the channel, guys. We're so glad you could join us today. As always, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home of those exclusive expert picks, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country for one of the lowest prices in the entire country. We want you to go check those out. The earlier you sign up for those, the better. The season's going to be starting in just really a week from Saturday. So you don't want to miss out on the chance to sign up for those. Join our team, win big with us, as we are beating out over 80% of the national handicappers and have done so for each of the last 6 years. So let's dive into the MAC. Pull up the records, and you might be surprised. I've got a shocker up there at number 2. Look, I said it was a competitive conference. You can see the margin of error. I mean, we've got a lot of teams that are 4-4 or better in conference play, and the team that we have at the top in Toledo is 6-2 in conference play. So 2 games separate Ball State in the lower half of the conference and Toledo at the very top of the conference. That's how competitive and wide open I believe the MAC can be this year. But it might surprise you to see Bowling Green at number 2. We'll talk about the Falcons here in 1 second. But let's start with the Rockets, who we have at number 1. Toledo's a good team, guys. They have been for many, many years under Jason Candle. Last year, they went 11-3. They were 11-1, won 11 straight games following their 2-point loss to Illinois in the season opener before losing in the conference championship game and then their bowl game to Wyoming. Yes, they lose to Quan Finn, but Tucker Gleason is more than capable at leading the Rockets back to the MAC championship game. A very solid quarterback there. His top 4 pass catchers returned this year. 3 of their top 4 tacklers returned this year, and they get a lot of their big games at home. Toledo hosts Miami, Ohio, Bowling Green, and Ohio. Their toughest road game is on the road at Northern Illinois. The Rockets are 37-9 at home under Jason Candle. They have one of the best home field advantages in this conference. We've got them returning to the top. Question is, can they reclaim the conference championship like they failed to do last year? Bowling Green, yeah, number 2. I'm high on them. Call me crazy. We've got a 3-way tie for first. Toledo, Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio, all 6-2 in conference play based on our predictions. But the Falcons are getting the edge over the reigning champions of Miami, Ohio. Look, Bowling Green, man, 7-6 last year. Made a bowl game. Or 7-5. It was a winning season before losing their bowl game. Connor Bazelak returns at quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in this conference. Terrion Stewart returns at running back, one of the better running backs in this conference. Harold Fannin returns as their top pass catcher, one of the best pass catchers in this conference. The offense is going to do extremely well. 8 of their top 10 offensive linemen returned from last year. The defensive line and the secondary, a secondary that only allowed 180 passing yards per game last year, are very, very strong. And this is a team that really could come down to the finale against Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio at Bowling Green in the season finale. That could determine who goes to the MAC championship game. And I believe the Falcons get the job done. This team has pulled off upset after upset after upset. Last year, really broke through to clinch that winning regular season. This year, I think they're better than they were last year. The record's going to improve. I've got them second in the conference, making the MAC championship game, facing off against their bitter rival in Toledo. Miami, Ohio, they fall just short. They won the MAC last year, went 11-3. We did a game-by-game prediction for Miami, Ohio, live from Oxford. So go check it out, live inside the stadium. We predicted this team. And we said 7-5 looks disappointing when you realize they went 11-3 last year. But their non-conference slate was difficult. At Northwestern, hosting Cincinnati, at Notre Dame, and then they have road games at Toledo and Bowling Green. So 2 of the better teams they have to face off against in this conference are both on the road. 2 of the biggest competitors they have to face against on the road. If they want to get back to the MAC championship game, they're going to have to at least split those, and I don't think they do. Very good team. Love the quarterback in Brett Gabbert. Love their defense, but I think the Red Hawks fall just short as Toledo and Bowling Green rise above them. Northern Illinois, 5-3 in conference play, 7-5 overall. They went 7-6 last year. They got a great squad. The key for the Huskies is quarterback play because we know Ontario Brown going to be great at running back. Rushed for over 1,200 yards last year. Their top 2 pass catchers returned from last year. But the key is quarterback. Will it be Jalen Macon from UAPB, Arkansas Pine Bluff, transferring in, or will it be Ethan Hampton? That's going to be the key for them. Whoever's the starter, how they succeed, how well they play will determine the outcome of the Huskies season, because the offense has other skill positions that are doing well. 8 starters are back on defense after giving up just 21 points per game. Northern Illinois is a team that will flirt with a spot in the MAC championship game, but ultimately think they're going to have to settle for another winning season and another solid bowl berth. Ohio, Western Michigan, Central Michigan, all making the postseason at 6-6. Ohio owning the tiebreaker over all of them, but specifically over Western Michigan, as they have the exact same record. The Bobcats went 10-3 last year. They're not getting close to that again this year. Why? Their star quarterback, Curtis Warwick, transferred out to Indiana. That's number one. Then they lose their star running back, transferring out to Minnesota. Their top 6 pass catchers all gone. 3 of their offensive linemen gone. And they've got a new offensive coordinator. So the offense is going to struggle quite a bit for Ohio this year. They're going to have to go through some growing pains. They've only got 6 starters total returning on this team. 2 on offense, 4 on defense. Road games at Miami, Ohio, and Toledo. There's a chance they could go 1-3 in the non-conference. A bowl game is what the Bobcats should expect this year, and I believe they hit just that. Western Michigan, I believe they break through to the postseason. Went 4-8 in year 1 under Lance Taylor. Now 17 starters are back for the Broncos. That includes a lot on offense. Hayden Wolf is a veteran QB. Going to be one of the better quarterbacks in this conference, I believe. At least top 4 for me in the MAC. So you got Hayden Wolf. You got Jalen Buckley returning at running back after rushing for over 1,000 yards last year. 3 of their top 4 pass catchers returned this season, and their top 4 tacklers return as well. Western Michigan is kind of a sleeper team, guys. I mean, if they can really piece it together, you could see them get to 7 or 8 wins, possibly. They do open up the season, back-to-back road games at Wisconsin and at Ohio State. We know those are going to be losses. I just thought that was a brutal way for this team to start the year, but they will fare well in MAC conference play. 6-6, finally breaking through to the postseason. Central Michigan, they're breaking through to the postseason. After a 2-year hiatus under Jim McElwain, he finally gets them back. They went 5-7 last year, just barely missed out. Big issue for them has been quarterback play. They've got to get improved QB play. Joey Labus transfers in from Iowa. He should provide that. Surprisingly, as bad as Iowa's offense has been, I do believe he plays very well for the Chippewas. Marion Lukes returns at running back. Their top 5 pass catchers do return, and they have 6 starters back on defense. So Central Michigan has the talent there, and they've got one of the better coaches in this conference, guys. I mean, McElwain kind of had a falling from grace, did really well at Colorado State, did not do as well at Florida as people wanted him to, but still won the Eastern Division multiple times. Has struggled up and down during his time at Central Michigan. Not an easy place to win, but is still one of the better coaches in this conference. I believe he gets them over the hump into the postseason. Everybody else, we have falling just short. Ball State and Eastern Michigan falling just short. The Cardinal of Ball State, 4-8 last year with 3 one-possession losses. So the talent's there too. The talent is there for Mike New's squad. He's got that. 8 starters back on offense. I think that's going to be their strength, but they've only got 1 starter back on defense. Yes, he got a lot through the transfer portal. We understand that. We hope they can gel quickly, but I think they fall just short this season with too many questions on the defensive side of the ball. Eastern Michigan, unfortunately, sees their 3-year bowl streak come to an end. They're trying to make it 4 bowl games in a row, which is remarkable for the Eagles. I think they fall just short. They lose their quarterback. They lose their running back. They lose their top wide receiver from last year, and they lose 3 offensive linemen as well. Cole Snyder does transfer in at QB, former Rutgers and Buffalo quarterback, and they've got an underrated defense. Chris Creighton really always exceeds expectations at Eastern Michigan. Has continued to do so year after year after year. Maybe he can do it again this year. They're 1 upset away from getting to their 4th straight bowl, but I think they fall just short. Final 3 teams, none of these teams truly contenders in the MAC. None of these teams really going to kind of flirt with bowl eligibility. But seeing Akron with 3 wins, that's good for the Zips, believe it or not. This is an Akron team that has won 7 games in the last 5 years. That's it. They've won a combined 7 games over the last 5 years. Last year, they went 2-10, but they had 5 one-possession losses. Akron had 5 one-possession losses last year, 3 of those coming in overtime. So the Zips were not as bad of a team as you would have thought last year. They just couldn't win those close games. They had a very young team. Now they bring in a veteran quarterback, Ben Finley, who used to play at NC State and California. The defense is severely underrated, very strong front 7. We always say coaches hit their stride in year 3 or year 4. This is year 3 under Joe Moorhead. This would be his best season yet at Akron, winning 3 games. 2 conference wins as well. Not saying they're going to be a bowl team next year, but they are on the right track. This is a very tough place to win, tough place to rebuild. Joe Moorhead is slowly but surely getting them there. Buffalo at 3-9. New head coach Pete Limbo got a very late start. Maurice Linguist left Buffalo to become an assistant at Alabama. Limbo gets that late start. And then you've got 10 starters back total with only 3 on offense. So the Bulls naturally are going to struggle quite a bit this year. New quarterback, lose their top 2 rushers from last year, lose their top 5 pass catchers, and the defense wasn't all that great. And then Kent State, 2-10, 1-7. They were the least experienced team in all of college football last year, and it showed. New head coach in Kenny Burns, no experience, no starters on the offensive side of the ball. They went 1-11, winless in conference play. Now 13 starters are back, including 9 on offense, an offense that could only get better after averaging just 14.7 points per game last year. I don't like this Kent State team at all. I don't think they're going to be all that great, but they're going to show significant improvement. And just like Akron, just like Buffalo, just like a lot of these teams that we've mentioned, it's about building. We knew Kent State was going to be a massive rebuilding project. Burns, I think, can get them there, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. Next year, year 3, could be when he hits his stride and sees his best year yet. Kent State, technically, though, does improve by 1 game. The MAC Championship. The MAC Championship we have as Bowling Green versus Toledo. This is significant for so many different reasons. But the biggest one, though, is it's a rivalry game. These two teams will meet for the 89th time in the regular season. Bowling Green will play at Toledo on October 26th, meaning this MAC championship game would be the 90th meeting between the Falcons and the Rockets. These two teams' campuses are just 25 miles apart. The 90th meeting of the Battle of I-75. What a great championship game. I mean, obviously the stakes are high anyways, but then you factor in a rivalry game on top of that. It makes it 10 times better and 10 times more intriguing. Love this matchup. Love both of these teams. We've got Toledo winning the first matchup at home in the regular season. Will they win it twice, or will Bowling Green pull off the upset in the championship game? I'm going to go ahead and say that Toledo wins it twice. The Rockets reclaim the MAC. They are, to me, still the best team in this conference, arguably. I love Tucker Gleason. I love the weapons he has surrounding him. I love their home field advantage, which they do not have in this game, but it will help propel them to this championship game. They won it 2 years ago, kind of had a, laid an egg, went flat last year against Miami, Ohio, falling short in the MAC championship game. That's not sitting well with Jason Candle. That's not sitting well with this team. The Rockets reclaim the conference, win the MAC over their bitter rival. Going to be an epic atmosphere. They win it. 9 wins for Toledo, a shot at 10 in their bowl game. None of these teams, nor Toledo, are going to be in the college football playoff discussion. They won't be in the hunt for the highest ranked group of 5 team or anything like that, but it will be a solid season once again for the Rockets as they reclaim the MAC. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. That's it. We have predicted every single team in college football. All that's left now is to share our 12-team college football playoff, which will be here in just a few days. Our official 12-team playoff predictions, and then the start of regular season content. It's the best time of the year. We're going to have you covered every step of the way, but until then, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home of those exclusive expert picks. Do not miss out on those guys' chance to win big with us. Some of the best picks in the entire country for one of the lowest prices in the country. Go sign up today before the season starts and become a member of our GE Nation. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.